that is the GPS, the circular. Yeah. So, and there's another GPS on the Pixoc itself. So this is a flight controller. This has two GPSs on it, two compasses on it as of now. So in addition to that, we have added an external compass to get better location tracking and stuff like that. So this Pixoc is our everything. It's the brain of it right now. Whatever signal I'm giving, it translates it into actual rotational movements, and so that does everything for us. And on top of this, if we want to do some sort of image processing and if we want to make this a robot, basically, we have to add another microprocessor on it, which basically translates those Pixoc commands, those flight control commands into whatever actions we wanted to do. There are many sensor boards available specifically made for these drones for remote sensing. So that's a different class. So as in, there are these Adafruit boards. I don't know if you've heard of them. These boards, they have every module transmitting temperature, soil, every moisture sensing, all these things in different parameters. And we can attach this on. They have made it in such a way that it can be carried. They are called drone carrier modules.
It's technically just a platform for.
It's just the basis for everything. It's a foundation. And the possibilities are of course endless. It all depends on how much the drone can carry and how much the drone can carry. The power supply. It's only limited by that. You can monitor the battery life. Yeah. We have this everything for it. We have set the type of battery which is on the drone, and it can compute how much time is left.
No, Jan, don't go. You want to take along with Dava. Good, nice.
So as shown yesterday in the presentation also, we have done a lot of things with these drones. We have attempted to autonomously land on a moving target, which can be used for self-driving, for ambulances and things like that, in order to deliver things faster, things like that. So there are many various applications to it. When we add computer vision, when we add a camera and we add a microprocessor, there are endless applications. So, but today we'll just show you how it flies and things like that.
Just one of the smallest ones that we use for autonomous algorithm testing. That's all. But you can have drones of any size. The bigger it is, the higher it will go, the more endurance it is.
That can fly through clouds. I've seen many. There are many YouTube videos available which shows that they've flown it through clouds and things like that. But the problem is that
you can make that, right?
Yeah, we can make that. In fact, we have it in our lab also.
Okay.
But it's just we're not comfortable flying it in that because it's like quite expensive tech. So and the thing is, when you're flying it in clouds, there is a chance of loss of communication.
Yes.
And
That's the problem.
yeah,
That's true.
GPS
signal will also go bad.
exactly. So that's what. And we are very
and also
afraid that
turbulence is very high.
the most thing we are afraid. The more important thing is that we don't want it to fall down. So that's what will happen sometimes. So last week we were flying it for aerial photography, as I told you. And what happened was, sometimes these errors come up and we don't even know why they come up. So when we were flying this in a low altitude only, we got this compass variance error. And what happens is, sometimes the error is because of these electric lines in the ground. They induce a magnetic flux and the compass goes wrong. So there are these things that we find out that, okay, this happens because of that. And because of that compass variance error, it can't hold its flight. It just drops.
The magnetic
So-
flux up to what?
So it has to go
Low
against that.
altitude. Yeah, it has to go away from that field.
Away from that.
Yeah, it has to go away from that
So not
area.
only that, you have to against that much it has to be powerful.
At that point, you can't even control it. So it just falls. So you can't.
the electronics. So there's a magnetic interference and there's nothing.
Yeah, so that is our biggest enemy, transmission lines and.
There's no like parachute.
In this one we don't have it, but we can add that extra. So, but that will be quite heavy because of the fact that you need those capsules to generate that amount of power to release the parachute.
What is the maximum wind speed it can sustain, not losing balance?
How much ever it can give the thrust off. So basically this can give 45 km/h thrust. So against that wind.
will be no other signal aberration because when you are doing some sort of signal count and you use sort of
No,
things.
with respect to the radio control, there will be no abrupt signal. But the only point where it can go abrupt is when I told the compass error. So the compass error only causes these abrupt variations. Because
there could be some interference if there are multiple people flying.
Safety.
yeah.
Use the control in force.
So we have mechanisms like return to launch or kill switch. So if you just kill the motors,
Drone loses contact with the radio, then it will automatically
Will
return.
abort everything and somewhere.
yeah, it will return to launch. But we don't use that feature as much as possible because that technology is not yet, because if there's bad GPS health, it is only going to come back to the point where you've started because the GPS location is good, what we've fed into that. And if there's bad GPS health, then that's going to cause something, it's going to land somewhere else. So that is another concern. So it's like so right now we are going to do the compass calibration of this drone before we fly it. It's like initial flight check. Does anyone want to volunteer? You can pick up the drone. You have to just move it around here and here. Yeah, sure.
What do you want to do?
Just lift it up.
Like this?
Yeah, lift it up like that. Yeah. Now lift it up properly.
Okay.
Now start moving it like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like this. Yeah. Start moving it however you want.
Okay. So to calibrate
Move it in this direction. Move it fast. You have to do it fast. Yeah, move it this direction. Roll it.
like this?
Yeah, anything, do anything.
For the, why do you do this?
No, keep doing. We have to calibrate the compass, so we need to feed it the gyroscope values. And
Even Android mobiles also, when they say I want to set it for compass, I should allow rotate in all directions.
Is it done?
roll it. No, it will not be done for a while. Just roll it.
GPS.
Wait, GPS a bit. That's okay.
IMU is inside.
Okay, now and back. Do it back. Done? Okay. Now it's done. You just have to set it down. The other side.
So every time this should be done.
Ideally, because that's what the last time we got a compass error because we didn't do
Yes, we need to do this.
level calibration. So this module is used for communicating between our ground station and this is called a telemetry unit. So this basically causes communication and this receiver here, this is for my transmitter. And basically this telemetry, the same thing you saw there is for the computer.
What frequency that is? What frequency it is?
433 megahertz.
So the data you get is location and
We get all this, pretty much anything which is on the
We have
drone.
IMU, we have gyroscope, we have IT,
Sensor.
then GPS.
433 megahertz.
Sir.
I'm not sure. Let's get it on.
like the runway they have. They used to buy a
This has 3 flight modes. One is completely manual control, where you can directly set the throttle, automatically relies on GPS.
Now they are going for
Manual land that you saw. That's why it was a little shaky. Okay. But yeah, there are land modes.
Who has made this? It's a team.
Yeah, it's a team effort. Like we buy the parts, we buy the small components, and then we assemble it together.
Students.
We just graduated BTech this April, and we joined this lab, like to step our game for masters. Basically, we're looking for.
from there.
Vellore Institute of Technology, and he's from BITS, Pilani, Hyderabad.
Bits Pilani.
Nice one. Because in the market several things are available. None of them can assemble and make things proper.
Yeah.
Hey, but with the Atal Tinkering Labs in school, children.
Something we have to buy, and the batteries as well, and the microprocessor. But the frames we do manufacture. I mean, we do make.
All our fixed wings are completely manufactured in the lab.
Yeah.
See, Bombay IIT is conducting the biggest tech fest on 3rd of January. 4 of our children have got selected. There you will have to build an aircraft they're already making, which will carry the maximum payload.
Okay.
So with tennis balls and all that, already our children are working on it.
Okay.
You've heard about it. It's open to everybody.
Okay,
100
okay.
teams pan India have been selected.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we make these for companies actually, for companies that fund us, and some of them we make it out of our own interest.
Okay.
So we don't really go for competitions as such.
These are all for research projects.
Yeah, these are all for
These are for
research projects. So there is intellectual property and things like that. So yeah, that's why we don't go for competitions as such.
Good efforts. All the best.
He wants us to demonstrate it again. Just for 1 minute.
So how much of battery life did you guys use during this flight?
Around 20%.
Yeah.
We get about 20 minutes of flight time. I think
Like 5 minutes. Yeah. Because flying it around is actually very mundane. It's like you can fly it how much ever you want, but we at the end of the day we just want to do some autonomous applications. Exactly. So yeah, you make your decisions, you decide what to do, and then the microprocessor can send a command saying, yeah, you have to mail.
You guys got drones like that?
Right. Yeah, in July till that autonomous landing. That was basically that. So we had a camera, a remote-facing camera, which was tracking the target. We had a downward-facing camera tracking the target, and that was the one controlling it, so telling it how far to go forward. Basically, there are 4 motors which propel it up in the air, thrust basically. And we have a GPS here. We have a Pixoc flight controller. And what that enables you to do is it basically locates your position and gives it to the ground station computer. And we have a receiver here, which will transmit to, we use to transmit information to signals. And we basically control the drone using that receiver. And that receiver relays it to the flight controller, which in turn relays it to the motor. So that's how we fly the drone. And then we have a ground station which has a telemetry unit. That telemetry unit is connected to, again, this one, and you can monitor all kinds of flight data with that, and also take the position, give waypoints, perhaps even look at altitude data, all that stuff. So right now this is a basic model which we just use for flying purposes, but we can also attach camera, we can attach different kinds of sensors, we can attach a microprocessor, make it autonomous, and do all these kinds of stuff. I'll just show how to, I'll just try. Battery is checked, right? Okay. I'll just do a short flight because I don't want to take chances with the battery. Could I request all of you to just move back a little bit? They're going to take off from here. Move behind the pilot. Please move back actually.
Yeah.